I think this thing is live now. Yes. All right, cool. T, what's good, man? What's cracking? Let me get myself together. Oh, excuse me. All right, where's my YouTube feed? All right, there it is. There it is. All right, mute that. Wait, let me see if audio is good. Wait a minute. Oh, no. Okay, I know what's doing that. You guys have audio, right? Can y'all hear? You should be able to hear. And then I don't see the chat over here. What's going on with the chat? All right, there's the chat. I gotta pop it out. And I'm seeing now why I can't hear, because I got it connected to these Bluetooth headphones, so they always hear somewhere. But I just heard the alarm go off. So that means that the audio is working. All right, cool. All right, Stacy, what's up? What's good, Doc? T said he headed to LA. You going to LA on vacation? Pull this mic up a little bit. All right, that should be good. Mike Santos, what's happening? I know, right? No, I'm actually, right now I'm at my family's home in Georgia. Only reason I'm not in the car is because they have the car, they moving around, so they wanted to drive in the truck instead of driving in the smaller cars. So here I am. And just me and my father-in-law, and he is quiet. So that's why you don't hear anything. If them females was here, Lord Jesus, I would not be able to do this right now, put it like that. Put it like that. Yeah, very rare, exactly. You know, my sanctuary is in the car, so. But you know, first time for everything. Oh, Doc said you coming up to see Mary J. Nice. Nice, right in Brooklyn, yes. It's my hometown. Yeah, definitely family first. Definitely. All right, so I'm finally situated, I think. I got the charts up and I got the live up. Yeah, that's gonna be a good show, Doc. And anything with Mary J in it is gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. That's your chick, huh? Yeah, Mary is classic, man. That's Yonkers, New York right there. Yup. She representing Westchester. I'm glad that she's still doing shows and stuff, because she definitely sounds good still, looks good. You know, she know how to still work the stage. So you're not gonna get a boring performance. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna be moving around. And I'm pretty sure she got something to talk about, because every time that she go through something, she make an album about it. It's crazy. She's very good at that. She makes records that are good records about her life. So she got unlimited records that she can make. That's what I like about artists like that too, just in general. Yep, she's definitely one of those types of artists. Matthew was good. What's happening? New interior, right? Oh, that's the one with Nas? Oh, wait. That's October, right? Oh, wait. I'm bugging. I'm supposed to have tickets for that. I'm bugging out. If I don't have them already, I gotta get them. I can't not go to that. Yeah. He said, I'll see you there. He's like, I got my tickets. $450 for the meet and greet. That's light. That's light right there. I saw tickets one time for a Beyonce concert, and they wanted $2,500 for the front row, but you know, like any of them type of concerts, they have the pit. It's like a pit right where the stage is at. I think it was for entrance into the pit. It was like a VIP area. $2,500. I'm like, come on, man. I don't like Beyonce like that, bro. What's crazy, I would pay $2,500 for Nas. I would pay that for Nas. But you know, he ain't gonna charge that much for his tickets. Not that he can't, but he's not on that, I don't think. They never been on that. He said she could pull off some of the drunk auntie dances. No doubt. That's what you love about her. And she will not fall either. She'd be like, she got the New York swag all day. Oh my goodness. Oh, he said the drunk auntie dance moves. Yo, you hit that right on the head. That is facts. That is a fact. JR comes on talking about Trump. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be a good show though. Definitely. Definitely. I ain't really been nowhere like in a minute. You know, like as far as the show goes. So I'm overdue. He said the Schlitz malt liquor. Right, that Cold 45. That's that Cold 45 in the can with the paper bag. Do people still drink 40s? People still drink 40-ounce bottles? I ain't seen a 40 in years. They probably do. Yep, they probably do. About a half hour ago, the market was looking actually pretty good. Right now, it's looking a little bit. It's looking a little bit not there yet. It was looking good a little while ago, though. Well, we're gonna see what it do. Oh yeah. I never had a 40 in my life, but you know, if you in the environment where that's being drunk, you see the bottle being passed around. I just never participated. Yep, just never participated, you know. What's up, Slav? First time not see me outdoors, right? Nah, definitely no 40s for TA. Definitely not. Only black label. Black label. He said, some do, I've seen them. Oh, man. Crown Royale, yeah, there we go. And the likes. What up, JJ? JJ says, did you make a conscious decision to not trade the way you used to because the environment and behavior kept changing? So it is difficult to read which way price would go. Well, I see that you asked something else after that too. Let me respond to that one. The reason that I made the decision not to trade the way that you saw me trading in the past is because I wanted to trade much less than that. And at that time, I was trading in multiple environments. So it wasn't even about being in one environment and that the environment or the market keeps switching up. It wasn't that. The market always switches up. So that's the nature of the market. What I was doing at that time was I was trading in different environments. So I would be doing different types of trades or what looked like different types of trades because I would be engaging in different environments in the market. So that led to more trades by default. Some of the trades were, in one environment. Other trades were in a different environment. It would vary based on the environment at the time. So when I really wanted to ultimately narrow it down and kind of hone it in and focus on the one that I focused on was the one that I knew would be the most duplicatable for other people also. Because I'm like, if I'm showing people how to do what I'm doing, it's not possible for me to teach somebody how to navigate in all of these different environments, because I can't even describe what I'm doing. So if I'm unable to explain or describe what it is, and it's just something I do, then it ain't gonna be something I'm gonna be able to teach nobody else. You know what I mean? So I think that that's what happened for me. It was a personal decision first. It's not that I was trying to position things so that someone else could do it. I was positioning things so I felt comfortable doing it. And when I realized that I didn't have to trade as often as I was, and that I could just focus on one environment and just trade with a larger contract size, that's when I shifted and made the adjustment. I was like, I'm trading way too much. Like I don't feel like trading this much. It's kind of like, that's what my thought pattern was. I was like, I don't feel like doing this. You know what I'm saying? I found myself in front of the charts for hours throughout every day. And I'm like, nah, this ain't really what I wanted to ultimately do. I wanted to have more time freedom. So I'm like, nah, I need to shift my thinking and also shift the way that I'm going about doing it. You know what I mean? So that's when I made the adjustment. Then JJ says, did you find that sometimes you had a good run and then things changed and what you did before did not work, causing losses here and there? No, because I was profitable in every environment. You see what I'm saying? That's what I was saying a moment ago about being able to navigate is different than me being able to teach you what I'm doing. Because if I'm doing more than one thing, it's almost like it's too much going on for me to narrow it down, break it down so that you can understand. You see what I'm saying? But that wasn't my concern at the time. I wasn't doing it for that reason. I was doing it for me. I didn't want to spend that much time on the chart. So I made the decision to focus on one environment, and the one that I selected was the one to me that made the most sense. I'm like, well, if I just wait for this, the slower type environment, waiting for the market to, just relax, stop with all of the erratic type of movement, all the volatility. I didn't want to do that anymore. I'm like, because you have to be so in tune with something that has a lot of movement in it. That's a pain. That's annoying. Like, it becomes more annoying than anything. You don't got to do all of that when the market has stability in it. All you got to do is relax until the market has stability. When it has stability, then you can make sense of what goes on in the platform to be able to capitalize on the market stability. That's where we are now. And it has, produced a lot of free time. Like now, when you come into training with us now, you're going to have plenty of time, because even the chart time that we put in is productive. Like, I'm able to come on a live stream, talk about a bunch of other stuff, got a timer that goes off. The timer will bring me back to the chart when it's time to look at the chart to see if the market is presenting something. That's awesome. That means I can be chilling. I can go, boil a hot dog or something and come back when the timer goes off. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can just do other things and not be stuck in front of the charts. So that was my main thing. What are you doing? I'm supposed to not see you? Is that what you're trying to do? Why would I not see that? Yeah, my son is insane. Son is nuts. Yeah, but that's more so the reason, JJ. Is this why now you only trade based on the right behavior that you keep going on about? Yeah, that's exactly why. What I explained is why. Don, what's happening? What's up, JP? So trading in different environments, did you limit the number of trades or just trade as you saw it based on the time you spent on the charts? At first, I did it based on what I saw at the time and how comfortable I was with what I saw. So there would be days where I would trade when there's volatility, and I kind of would like the way that the volatility was set up and the way that that kind of synced up with the platform. Like, because, all right, one of the things that I talk about now often is about the market, syncing up on the platform that we use on NADEX. Now, syncing up means the position of the market relative to the strike prices that you're looking at. And when I say pricing, I mean option pricing. When the market is syncing up with the platform, you, through observation, know what it looks like when it syncs up. And you know what it looks like when it's not synced up. This comes from study. Now, this applies in the environment that we like now and in fast environments. It applies in both. Just because the market is volatile and is in a faster, more erratic type of environment doesn't mean that it's in sync. In other words, it doesn't mean that the option pricing is going to reflect favorable pricing for you and for the trade that you want to take. Doesn't mean that. You're not guaranteed to get a good trade just because there's more volatility. You still got to navigate. You know what I'm saying? It's not cut and dry. It's just like saying, oh, well, you only got fast market and slow market. That's not true. You got fast market. You got stable market within the fast market. You got slow market, stable market within a slow market. You got fast market, unstable movement within a fast market, slow market, unstable movement within a slow market. I just gave you 4 environments. That's 4, not 2. You see what I'm saying? So fast and slow, that's not the only 2 environments. What happens when it's fast and stable? That's an environment. That's a condition. What happens when it's slow and unstable? That's an environment. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be able to navigate what you're looking at. If you don't know what you're looking at, you're going to get smashed. You're going to get smoked. It's only a matter of time because you don't know, you can't make sense out of what you see. And that's where observation and study has always come in. That's something that I've always done. That's not new. I didn't just start studying the market. I've been studying the market. So it also comes down to what it is that you're studying. You know, are you observing for the sake of trying to create a strategy? Because if you do that, it means you're trying to curve fit the market. And if you try to curve fit the market, you're definitely going to lose. Because it's impossible. It's not about you trying to curve fit a strategy that the market fits into. It's about you bending and adjusting yourself so that you're in cooperation with the market environment. You have to bend to the market. It ain't the other way around. The market don't care nothing about you. The market don't even know you. So it ain't like, oh, well, you know, based on my strategy and my methodology, you know, I should win at least 8 out of 10 of my trades. That's stupid. Just that thinking is stupid because who are you to tell me or anybody else what the market is going to do? You don't know what the market is going to do, especially when you find a pattern that you think that you have. Now you get into the whole, oh, the market is supposed to do this. No, it ain't. The market ain't supposed to do nothing. So that's where you're going to fall short. And by doing that, you're going to keep yourself inside of a losing loop. That's why people can't become profitable. That is for that reason. The same reason that you're trying to find a strategy, the same reason that you're trying to get signals and all of that, You trying to figure out how to curve fit something so that the market bends to you, and it don't work like that. You have to adjust to the market. That's why you always have to keep the market on the pedestal and respect it. And when you don't do that, that's when you get smoked. And people they do it all the time. They get smoked and they be wondering, man, I don't know why I lost that one. Because you didn't take the time really that you needed to make sure that the environment was what you thought that the market was showing you. Well, how are you going to know that for sure? You got to study. Well, how are you supposed to, you have to observe. You got to do more observation than trading. A lot of times that's what people's problem be. They trade more than they look. You trading more than you watch in the market. You got to watch the market and make sense out of environments and conditions that the market actually falls into. It's not the other way around. The market don't owe you nothing. And I think that that's where people get confused about it, you know? But these are good, very good questions. These are very good questions. JJ said, market really switched up today, so it was really difficult to get a trade. But last week there were so many trades, so trying to understand that the market really changed its behavior. See, when you say the market really switched up today, what does that even mean? You have to be able to define that. It switched up relative to what? You see what I'm saying? So that brings it back to what you always hear me say about understanding the why. If you don't know why you took a trade in the first place, you already lost. It's the same reason if you don't know why you didn't trade. If your reason for not trading is, oh man, I'm still a little nervous, I'm still a little antsy, I'm not, I don't have confidence. That's not the real reason why you're not trading. You got to get to the real reason why you're not trading. Why would you not take a trade that set up? You need to know the answer to that. What is it about the environment in the market that would cause you to not trade that? What is it about the timing right now in the market? What is the environment and the condition in the market right now that would tell you not to trade? These are the answers you have to get to. You got to get to that answer. Until you get to that answer, you're going to lose anyway. It's only a matter of time because you're going to keep doing it until you lose. You know what's funny is like people, they'll discover something that like works for a while. And you hear people say this all the time. Man, I had a good run. All you had was something that you found that was working for a period of time. You didn't know why it worked. All you knew was that it worked, right? So the fact that you didn't understand why it worked and it stopped working, if you didn't know why it worked in the first place, why would you know why it stopped? You see what I'm saying? And that's a hard pill for people to swallow. People can't deal with that. They're like, yo, you know what? This is too much. And they throw in the towel after a while because they can't figure it out from that perspective. You're not going to figure it out from that perspective. You got to reverse the process of your thinking to begin with. Like you got to just switch everything around anyway. So, I think that that's what people run into the most. Don said, food for thought, Rocky Marciano took notes before a fight. That's how confident he was in his preparation. That's hard. See, it's like being in a relaxed state because you know that your process works. And your process has to be in alignment with the market itself. Not with a pattern of the market. There's a difference. Doc said, take what the market is giving. That's it. Patience. Discipline and mindset. Slop said, my reason for... I had no idea who that is. Slide, my reason for not training is because I'm training. Huh? What you talking about, Slav? Did you mean my reason for not trading? Is that what you meant? Doc said, I've been studying the pound yen for 8 weeks without trading. I took 2 trades last week and smashed both of them. If you cannot answer the basic questions of why, then you should not be trading. That's it. That's it. That's 100%. 100% right there. Yep. You hit that on the head. You know, it's so crazy. And that's something that you kind of hear repeatedly. It's like you got to know the why. That's real. That's real. Once you actually get a handle on the reason why you're doing or not doing, you already are victorious now. It's not about you trading. Like that, you know, that's what people will have a tendency more so to do. They're like, yo, I've been doing NADEX for 2 years, you know, and I feel like I should be profitable by now. Why? Maybe for 2 years, you just haven't been doing the most relevant work because you just didn't know. That's you and hundreds of thousands, if not millions of other people just in the market overall who lose. You know, you don't know what you don't know. You don't even know what you should know. You didn't even know that there's something else that you should know. So how would you know how to get to what you need to know? You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like that. It's a situation like that. And that's why when people run into Team Alliance, it's like something goes off. Even if somebody has experience, you can have years of experience trading, but you're going to hear something that's going to resonate with you and it's going to make so much sense. It's like, let me listen to this. Next thing you know, you tuned in and listened to the live streams because there's a lot of nuggets, there's a lot of knowledge, there's a lot of wisdom, there's a lot of things that we dialogue about that's true. And you know that it's true. That's exactly why when people run into us, if you're not willing to accept the fact that the market is king and not your strategy or your method, you're not going to like what we're doing. You're not going to like us because you're going to feel like, nah, all you need is a good strategy and really good risk reward and good money management. It's like none that you're saying is even making any sense. You kind of sound stupid because you're saying all of that, but then you can't show me how you've been winning consistently. You can't show me that. You still ain't consistent. So how is that true? It can't be true if you're not consistent. If you're consistent, then I can't say nothing. But you're not consistent. That's what's crazy to me. And that's what be bugging me out, like about how people, sometimes just the way that they talk and their posture. I'm like, yo, nah, man. Nah, there's no debate with the stuff that, you know, you hear me saying. It is what it is. I'm not saying anything that is not true. I'm saying what is true. And that's it. Like, that's all it is. That's like me saying, hey, man, you know, I'm good at this. And I beat the market all the time. You never hear me say I beat the market. You never heard me say that. I know better than to say that. I don't beat the market. You crazy? The market will tear you up. The market will tear anybody up. So don't dare, like, don't even put that word in your mouth to say, I beat the market. No, you don't beat the market. You join the market. You join the market. Come on, man. You can't beat them, join them. That's it. JJ, the price action changed. It did not behave the same way as it did last week. Today, for example, when it went down, it kept going down and did not give any pullbacks to the other side. Also, when the price looked like it was going up, and then suddenly in the last seconds, it reversed. JJ, everything that you're describing is normal market activity. Like this is what bugs me out too about, I think what people sometimes don't realize early enough, like in their trading. The market always is right. So anytime that you say certain things like, oh, the market switched up, it's not even possible for the market to switch up. Look, the market is never wrong. It's impossible for the market to switch up if it's never wrong. Yes or no? How can it switch up if it's right all the time? There is no switching up. What it is you have not been able to keep up with what it is that you're seeing the market do. And there's a difference between those two things. So that means that there's more study on your part required in order to follow along with the switch up that you're calling a switch up, which is really just something that you have not seen in the market environment or the condition at the time. You haven't been able to put a finger on it. You know what I'm saying? If you put a finger on it, then you're going to be able to make sense of what it is that you don't understand right now at a later time. It'll come to you. The clarity will come later. You're not ready for it right now. That's why it doesn't make sense to you. It's going to take more observation and more study on your part. And this goes for whoever. Like this, the market doesn't care about who you are. It doesn't have any respect for you. It's not its job to have respect for you or for me. The job of the market is to do what it does, and that's it. Like, that's just it. That is just it. Doc said, I do not take advantage of opportunity. Slav said, those slaps, I'm sure they are consistent with losing. This is why I love my team, man. Listen to what Slav says. He said, you beat the guy on the other side of your trade. Oh, all right. I sense the vibe. I sense the vibe. You beat the guy on the other side of your trade. You ain't beating the market, man. Yeah, but like that this is very it's very powerful information because it's hard for people to process this information a lot of times. Like they don't really understand it. So anything that you don't understand, really, you're going to have a difficult time filtering through the information because you haven't made sense of it yourself to yourself. But that doesn't make it any less truer than it actually is. It doesn't make it any less of a fact. It's still a fact, any way you want to look at it. So, facts are facts. Let me brighten this up a little bit. He said the market is the referee. Don said Larry Height, $100 million trader, said the best. I don't have a crystal ball. The only thing I can do is agree with the market. Ooh. Ooh. Damn. Yeah. I know. I put the shades down, right? Anytime you do that, you know the vibe is here. The light bulbs are coming. JJ, I was 12-0 last week. Got caught up on a trade. Got my first loss today. So working on my consistency and wondering if your training is worth it. I mean, I can't decide that for you, man. I can't decide that for you. The one thing I can say about that is, what are you really giving the most value to? Are you giving the value to your ability to win trades? or you giving the value to your ability to understand the market. There's a difference between those two things. Anybody can win trades. Anybody can have a run. You can clearly have a run that lasts however many trades. Oh, I'm 40-0 in 3 days. Beautiful. But why are you 40-0? If you can't tell me why, then you can't continue to do it. You don't even know why you 40-0. You just 40-0. So then when you start losing, you don't know why you're losing it. Now you're in a state of confusion, and now the confusion that you're in now smashes your confidence. Your confidence is a wrap. As soon as you start losing, your confidence is shot. That 40-0 run that you have don't even mean anything now. It's done. Now your confidence is a wrap. Now you're emotionally affected by your experience within your trading. Guess what that leads to? More emotion. Guess what that leads to? More confusion, which leads to more losing. This is what I mean about you being in a loop. So you're going to remain in the loop until you get the solid knowledge and the solid training that you need that's going to keep you where you need to be. Not where you want to be. There's a difference between where you want to be and where you need to be. It's just like if you say, hey, I want freedom. All right, you want freedom, you need to be here. Yeah, but I don't really want to do it that way. You want to do it that way? That's how you stay in the loop, you know. That's how you stay in the loop, man. Slav said it's worth it. Paley said, I'm at work right now, Mark, or you at the house? Yeah, I'm indoors today, man. Yes, sir. Slav said, your style of trading will have to change because I don't think that there was more than one trade for us last week that was valid. Indeed. There were trades last week, but the timing of when you're on the chart, you may not necessarily be in a trade. Training and elevate your skill. Along the way, you may not see the same opportunities that you're going to see in the future that you're seeing now because of your level of skill that you're at right now. So remember that you're constantly training and increasing your skill, which means you can't expect to come out the gate and just get it all and understand everything and be trading away. You got to navigate through the market, understanding the framework for how we look at the market. Then you got to navigate through you. I guarantee you, JJ, that your biggest problem is you. And I'm not picking on you. The reason I'm saying that is because that's everybody's problem. The funny thing about it is that we think that the problem is the market. It ain't the market, it's us. It's what we do. That's the problem. That's it. Slav said 12-0 was good, but I mean, that one loss you took today is what won't happen if you join, so it's worth it. Matthew said, if you're asking, you already know it's worth it. Hey, what else needs to be said? That's so funny, guys. I was thinking that too. I could tell you why, but when the market changes, I ain't patient enough. I didn't even read this yet. What did I just say a minute ago? Didn't I just say, I guarantee you that the problem is you? Listen, look at what he just wrote. I ain't patient enough. I suppose I've answered my own question. See, I knew the vibe was here. I need to be more patient. He said, I understand the market fine. Okay. Paley said, it's all behavior, I'm out. Dodge said, if you don't understand why it's like an antibiotic is the only going to bandage the problem. Right, it's like an antibiotic. It's only going to bandage the problem. Yep. Just cover it up a little bit. Otis said, understanding why you win and why you took a loss will help keep you stable. There's a lot of wisdom. As you can see, there's a lot of wisdom here. A lot of wisdom here. And this is wisdom that comes from training, man. It's the reason why the wisdom continues to elevate. The same way that everything that we're doing continues to elevate. Yep. It's just like knowing the difference between the market being in position but being out of sync. You know, that's like, it's almost like speaking another language when we talk amongst ourselves here. And it's like, huh? What do you mean in sync? Makes sense. Once you actually begin to understand the market, it all makes sense. It starts to really make a lot of sense. It's like, I never thought about that. I know. Most people don't. Most people don't even know to think about it. So, hey, what you say? JP said a dream without a plan is a wish. You want that dream of financial freedom. Plan to get the training from TA. Hell yeah, it's worth it. JJ, when I win and when I lose, I understand the why. But I think I'm not being patient enough to really wait for things. I need to adjust to market behavior changes, so need to take time. That's interesting what you said about, you said when I win and lose, I understand the why. So if you take a trade and you know why you lost, why do you duplicate or repeat the same thing again to lose again? Why would you not completely X out whatever it is that you know would lead to loss? That's just a general question. You know, like in all honesty, like why? Why would you not just X that out? And I'm just curious to hear your response to that. You know, like I'm not even asking to be facetious or anything. I really want to hear what your response is to that. Once you know why you would lose, why would you not exit out completely? Or what would stop you from exiting it out completely? Winston said, just logged on, you guys are talking about me. We definitely talk about ourselves, for sure. And the stages that we go through, absolutely. Matthew said it sounds like he has all the answers and none of the answers at the same time. An interesting place to be. Pulling and pushing. When you pull and push at the same time, what happens? Think about that for a second. If you pull and push with the same force, what happens? What literally happens? See what y'all say to that. What's up, Jermaine? There you go. Nothing happens. You stuck. It's so simple. So simple. That's it. Bingo. Right. The force makes it neutral. Zaki said cancellation. Otis, stagnation. Raymond, nothing happens. That's it. Don said, I think that repeat failure comes down to the ego. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We on the vibe. Right. Right. Uh-oh. What's happening, Chip? Right. You don't go anywhere. Exactly. JJ said, I've been going all in and increasing contracts, but I think I've been overconfident. Who's that, Jeff? You picking it up? No, don't pick it up. Let her talk to grandma when she comes. I think I've been overconfident because I got 12-0 and then did not really observe the behavior for long enough. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Winston said, I've examined my issues about this negative behavior. I think it's my dopamine kicking in because of the thrill of making it happen for me. That's a lot of self-awareness right there. That's hard, actually. That's hard. Wait, hold on. I got to reread that. This is what Winston said. He said, I've examined my issues. First of all, the wording alone is very powerful because this is self-directed. He said, I've examined my issues about this negative behavior. I think it's my dopamine kicking in because of the thrill of making it happen for me. Whoa. Kev said, what happens when an unstoppable force meets an unmovable object? It smashes the object. That's what happens. When movement is going to supersede something that ain't moving. That's without a doubt. Think about how weather works. A rock is unmovable, yet wind and rain grinds down a rock over time, which shows you the power of the repetition of force. Yeah, we going somewhere now. Going somewhere now. JP said, no mic drops. We got to make this commentary last till I get home. Don said, dopamine is dangerous because repeat dopamine hits can cause anxiety. Look at the analysis of all of this stuff. This is crazy. Winston said, yes, control myself, kind of like Seinfeld's master of my domain, you know? It's powerful stuff, man. So you see that the common denominator really with the dialogue that we're having, even though we're talking about the market, what are we really talking about here? Like, think about that. What are we really talking about? Or let me rephrase, who are we really talking about? And this is what amazes me all the time about when we get into these conversations with people all the time. The conversation starts with the market, but where does it end? Done. Self-analysis, man. And that's fair. That's fair. I see what you said, JJ. He said, if I had all the answers, I would not be asking. And definitely, that's why we even dialogue about things in the first place. So, and everything, here is all in love anyway. So, you don't feel offended if you may think that a comment is directed towards you in a certain way. It's not even like that. It's all good. Winston said, I'm so pissed that I must fix myself. And with the mirror of Mark Fuller, I can fix myself. I must fix myself. And it's funny that you say that, because what I'm doing is holding up the mirror. That's all I'm doing. I'm here to just keep the mirror up in front of you. That's training right there all day. Kev said everything in the universe, including traders. Yep. That's it. Matthew said all you have to do is win the day. Don said, Abraham Lincoln, if I had 6 hours to cut down a tree, I'm going to spend 4 hours sharpening the axe. Ooh. Don, you better chill. That's a mic drop. Don't make Honest Abe drop the mic. That's hard. If I had 6 hours to cut down a tree, I'm going to sharpen the axe for 4 hours. Damn. Kev said, if you had all the answers, would you even want to live? It wouldn't really be nothing to live for, would it? Yep. Hard. Oh, let me turn this Bluetooth off. If I turn it off, then I should be able to hear it from here, because I'm not hearing this timer going off. All right, that's good right there. Don said, I'm sorry. Yeah, you almost did it with the axe. You almost axed alive with the axe. Don said, if I had the opportunity to go back in time, I wouldn't, because the downfalls is what builds us as humans. That's very interesting too. I think that that's a very good way to respond to when that question is asked. You know how people be like, oh, if you can go back in time, what would you change? Nothing. Because if you change or altered anything, you probably wouldn't even be here. You wouldn't even be here. You, the person that you know as yourself, you wouldn't even be here right now. Wouldn't even be here. Yeah, he definitely coming in. Right, it's like, what's the point of going through? Exactly. Yep. Yep, that is exactly right. What is the point? Is that what that noise was? The air, right? Pop, the air was on? The air was on?
Yeah.
That's what that noise was, right? Yeah, I heard it. I didn't know what that was. I thought it was a wash machine.
Oh, you mean in the bathroom?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like there's some switches Both of them turn the light on, but one of them put that square thing up there.
Yeah.
It's supposed to, keep the moisture out, like this is no window. Right?
Oh, yeah. The vent.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's what that was.
Yeah. I just turned this thing down. It's got cold to me. It's getting kind of cold in here. When you come back, they'll be hot. So
I'm pretty sure that they will be. Don said because it's what's like the point of going through it. When the day period, it seems so simple. It is simple. Matthew said everything that tried to break you made you. Exactly. So you can't disregard any of it. That's it. Don said building clauses in the mind. Yep, all factual, man. Yeah, just for the day. Yeah, just for today. MTV Cribs. Do that even come on anymore? Nah, right? They don't make that no more. And I heard something crazy about that show too. Something that they used to be doing. They said that a few of them used to be just renting a house. Like they'll rent a house for that show. It wasn't even where they lived at. Like they would just rent the house and then do the MTV Cribs. That's why when you would be looking inside the house, you would never really see pictures. Like, their pictures and stuff like that. Crazy. Yep. JP said, let's check out the whips. Yeah, because Redman's house was real. Remember when he had he had to rub his wires together to ring the bell? Yep. And he showed you the dollar box. It was a shoe box. You throw your dollars in there. Yeah, that definitely was my favorite MTV Cribs. Yes. And he had his cousin sleeping on the floor. Oh my goodness. Hilarious. Market is slowing down. It still got some positioning to do though. Yes, it does. Oh, good. There's the chat. Finally, I refreshed this and it came up over here. All right, cool. What's happening, Shane? Shane said, I've got speed and behavior. I'm uncertain about stability. The stability, it looks like the market is attempting to transition into solid stability. It's close. But even when you have stability, you still need the market to be in sync with the platform. And that's when trades come. So, the market needs to get in position relative to a strike price. And then once it does, that's when you'll see everything unfold. And if it doesn't do that, it just is what it is. So the fact that you're continuing to observe and to study, that's what's going to keep you right where you need to be. I understand that it seems like there's a level of uncertainty, but it really just is a matter of you continuing to flex, not even flex. It's like exercising. That's what it's like. You know the long-term result of exercising. The short-term result is not why you're exercising. You exercising for the long-term result. And the more that you have consistency in your regimen for exercising, the more consistent your results are going to be spread out over time. That's kind of the same principle that we're dealing with. Yep. Kev said that's how you do it. JJ, what's interesting is that you say you can trade in all different environments. How did you decide to only focus on a particular environment that can take days or weeks to come? I know you mentioned time, but if you can trade any environment, then you can trade quickly each day and have it over and done with and then go about your day. Well, it's because I'm not, okay. And I actually like the second part of the question because that actually taps into what you want to overcome, where you said, have it over and done with. You see, that's a phrase that's like, it's almost like it's almost a lack of respect for the market to think like that. Like that, man, let me just get on here real quick and just get this over with. You cannot disrespect the market like that because who are you to say that that's what is going to be the case? What if for whatever reason you get on the charts and now that you're saying that, your ego kicks in and you got the ego running instead of having the person that has respect for the market in front of the chart. Now you got the ego sitting in front of the chart. The ego will cause you to get smashed. Your ego will cause you to do something stupid and mess up and lose. It never fails. So this is why everything that we're doing is about not building up the ego and instead building up the humility that we need to have in order for the market to reward us for the patience. You get rewarded for having patience. It's not a punishment. It seems like, oh, I gotta get this today. I gotta get paid today. I gotta. No. You gotta have respect for the market, and if you don't, the market will punish you for that. The same way that the market rewards you for patience. So it's like, which one would you rather be on the side of when it comes to the market? You want to be on the market's good side, or you want to be on the market's bad side? I'd rather be on the market's good side because the market does whatever it wants to do. And it does not care about how long you've been trading or doing things for. It could care less about that. It doesn't care about it at all, in fact. So you got to always just be mindful of that so that you don't let your ego put you in harm's way when it comes to the market, because it's easy to do. You could easily get smoked. Imagine just getting on the chart every day. Let me get this money real quick. Huh? Like who you talking to? The market is really looking at you like, who you talking to? Like, you talking to me like that? And it will remind you quickly, like, oh, you thought you were gonna just come on the chart and just get paid like it's nothing. All right, cool. Even when I go back to when I was trading in different environments, just because I was trading in different environments and ended up trading more often and more frequently, the quality of the trades was still there. I still had to wait. I didn't just hop on the chart and get trades. There were days when I would be sitting in front of the charts for hours before I got one trade. So it might have seemed like, oh, he just gets on and he gets 3-4 trades a day. Well, how long did it take me to get them 3-4 trades? It might have took me 6-7 hours to end up with that many trades. Sometimes they would come in clusters and they would come consecutively, but not all the time. There were times where they were spread out. If you go back, there were times I might have had a trade in the morning and then had a trade at night in the same day. That's up to the market to decide, not me. So even in spite of that, it still comes down to you having a level of respect for the market regardless. And if you don't, like I said, you will be punished. Like the market will punish you for a lack of respect. All right, Mike. Don said it's all about being yourself, not getting material things just to show off. Exactly. I do have it, Winston. What's so funny is that it's in the car. Like, what's the chances of that? I literally still have it in the car. But I'm gonna try it out today. I'm gonna let you know. What's up, JT? He said it's getting there with stability. The macro was holding, but the macro behavior is jerky. Let me take another quick look. Yeah, I think just now I was looking at the 350, and the timing was off. Yeah, the timing of the behavior was off a little bit, and you saw it reflected in option prices. So, not there yet. Shane said, I will and I can taste the freedom. That's it. JP said, stay humble. That's it. Shane, I got some clarity listening to 390, but it faded. I will listen again and it will happen again. Exactly. JJ, yo, Mark, you're real smart. I love the way you really understand things deep. Really have a good understanding, especially psychology. I need to have your psychology. And that's what it is, Jay, because matter of fact, I had asked this a minute ago. I was like, our conversations start out talking about the market, but they don't end up talking about the market. By the time you leave a live stream, you feel like, what just happened? You're like, wait, were we talking about the market or were we talking about me? And you realize like, oh, that's what it is. And it's like, yeah, that's what it is. So it's like the market is a reflection of life. That's what it is. The same way that everything you do is the cause and the result of something else, right? So it's like a repetitive thing that goes on. So you're trying to, find your way to navigate through the whole thing so that your experiences will be consistent. Does that make sense? It's kind of like, when you look at your experiences and it's different experiences that you go through, really good experiences and then really terrible ones. When you have the bad experiences, there's a takeaway from it that you may or may not get from it yet. You may not be in the condition to get the takeaway from the bad things that happen in your experience in life, right? Of course, you're going to get the takeaway from the good stuff that happened. You're like, yeah, this is great, man. Man, I love it. The bad stuff, you're like, yo, why did this happen? What is like, where's the lesson in this? So all of this is building you up as a person in order to elevate you so that at an elevated state, you don't see the negative as negative anymore. And this is about to be a mic drop moment because this is hard. I can already sense this. When you elevate to a point, you're not seeing negative as negative anymore. The same way that you're not seeing the glass as half full. You're definitely not seeing it as half empty, but you're not even seeing it as half full anymore. You're seeing it as water in the glass, and let me pour some more. Let me put some more water in the glass to fill up the empty space in the glass. and fill it up to the top. Now just imagine you take that mindset and that way of thinking and apply it in life and apply it in the market. What do you think will happen? The balance that you create from doing that and then from repeating it. That's why training is so repetitive. Imagine you discover how to do that and then that's all you do now. You just keep doing that every day. Like, what do you think that your experiences are going to be like now? In life, with everything that goes on. It transcends from trading into life. And it transcends from life into trading. It's like waves crashing up on the shore. The waves keep coming and it keeps splashing. It just doesn't stop. And it's always an impact. Blah, blah, blah. It's just more of the same. And the next thing you know, now the freedom's here. You see what I'm saying? But the mindset and the processes to create and to build your mindset up, that comes first. It's not the other way around. You don't get freedom first and then work on mindset. You get freedom as a result of working on mindset. The same way that as a result of training your mindset to respect the market, you become in tune with the market and you stop losing. Good stuff, man. Kev said, if everyone won like that, would we even be here? Somebody got to lose, brings tears to my eyes. The beauty of trading is that we're able to capitalize off of human behavior. That's really what goes on. The fact that people are not in the know regarding something that they are kind of feeding their greed aspect of themselves. Like the attraction of trading for everybody is greed first. That doesn't flip around for you until you actually elevate. And in order for you to elevate, you have to have the correct mindset. So most people get into trading because they're greedy. They want to make money. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. You should want to make money. But if that's where you leave it, now you've run into like a brick wall, because now you're dealing with, all right, I got this trading thing and all I need is a way for me to just make, $200-300 a day. And it's like, oh, you done fell right into the trap. And this is like, I'm telling the truth. This is where people end up at, right? Just think about anybody that asks you, somebody might ask you right now, oh, you trade? Oh man, I wish I could trade, man. I'd like to get up to like $200-300 a day. They either saying that or they're asking you, oh, well, how much you make how much you make a day? It's always greed questions. They don't know any better. These are the same people that will end up being on this platform that we trade on, and they'll end up losing to us because they don't know any better. I can't force them to get information and become informed and become educated. I can't force them to do that. Most of them will never run into TeamAlliance. Most people will never know who TeamAlliance is. That's how ill this is. As many people as, that do come in and are introduced to us and do become aware of what we do and, make things happen as a result. Most people, no. The same way that the majority of people lose. 99% of everybody's losing. That's probably going to stay like that for a long, long time, until it gets to 98%. So just think of, if you think about it like how it kind of is already, If we represent the 1% and our numbers doubled, now we only represent 2%. What if it was 5,000 of us now? What if 5,000 represented 1%? That's insane. Let me see if I can answer this. My wife has called me. Y'all type and say.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? I'm doing a live stream. Let me hit you back in like 20 minutes.
My grandma. What happened?
Never mind. I'll talk to you in a minute.
Well, yeah, hit you. I mean, hit you back because you gotta tell me. I gotta tell you.
You gotta tell me something.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hi. Hi.
I'll talk to you in a minute.
Okay. Okay. Bye.
Yeah, my wife is crazy. So you heard that? You heard her too, or just me? I still don't know how that works. Sometimes y'all can just hear me and not hear her, and then sometimes you hear her. I'm totally confused now. Oh, you can't. Okay? So you did hear her. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm glad she ain't say nothing crazy. Well, she ain't tell everybody how sexy she think I am. Oh man. Jelani said, "Who crib you in?" I'm with the family, man. I'm with the family. J. Carter told Jelani don't be nosy. Then she said, "Where you at though, Spike?" Yeah, y'all crazy. That's J. Carter said, "If you're losing, you're not in training. Join training." JT, the market is forever changing, but yet the same. That's why the trades appear as they do. Profitability is like a cycle. Just gotta wait for it. What? All right, JT. You know what that look means. Look. J. Carter said he gonna mic drop. Watch. Oh snap. Mick says some people and some things cannot go up the mountain with you as you elevate. That's true. That is true. No one has ever asked me how I'm learning to trade. Always ask how much you make a week. Yep. Jelani said, "Oh, can I give you some money and you trade for me?" Yep. Yep. Yeah, hit it right on the head. JT said, "I try to tell people you would make way more money trading for yourself. No pay cut on the ROI." Good stuff. Yep, that's good stuff right there. See what this market do. It look like it might be positioning itself. Could be. Let's see. Someone sent me some interesting information. Well, actually, no, they didn't really send it to me yet. They're gonna send me some interesting information from some type of study that they were doing of NADEX. So I'm actually curious to see what the information is. You know, I tried my best not to come off as, you know, he's a know-it-all. You know, I'm so far from that. I don't think I know anything. I just think that I know enough about a few things to do enough damage and just be consistent. You know, that's how I look at it. That's how I feel. I don't feel like I know all of this stuff. I just observe and I study and then I apply, you know, and that's all it's about. It's like when you observe the market, you get information from the market and you're able to utilize that information specifically to do something that makes money. What else is there? Like for real, what else is there? If you're able to do that, then you are now in position to earn, to be profitable. And the consistency of that profitability more so boils down to your ability to wait for the market to give it to you. Is there anything else? And there really isn't. You know, there really isn't. Yep. Mick said accountability takes humility. Humility takes skill. It's one of the reasons why also, like I invite people to present questions regarding the market or, you know, talking about NADEX in particular. I welcome that information and those questions because I like to get clarity and to give clarity. The more clarity that I'm able to give, the more clarity I receive. And it makes perfect sense because that's tapped directly into the universal law of how everything works. You have to give in order to receive. That's why as soon as I find out something valuable, I give it away immediately. That's what training is. Like every night that we train live, that's what it is. You would think I have notes written out, you know, about what I'm gonna train on. I have no notes. I never wrote anything. I don't even own a notebook or I don't even have a pen or a pencil. It just comes out straight from the brain to the mouth to the recording. And through the process of doing things that way, you know, that's the same way that I receive information. I get information not from reading books. Most of the information that I get is from actual observation. And what's crazy about that is people think that I read a book. Like the stuff that I'll say, they'll show me quotes from books that is like identical to stuff that I've said. And I never read the book. And they'll be like, yo, that wasn't a book I read. And they'll go get the quote from the book and I'll read it. And I'm like, that's kind of scary right there. Because I never read this book. I never read anything. And it's like, man, how is that even possible? And that's what it is. That's why you always hear me talk about the vibe. Because the vibration is something that is universal, that is invisible. I believe that the vibration that you always hear me talk about, you don't see it. You feel it and you know it's there though. And not only that, that's where the information is coming from. That's where the energy is coming from the vibration. So when you connect to the vibration, it's just as if you read the book. Because wherever that person got that information from that they put in the book, it came from the vibration. It had to. That's why it's almost like you get confirmation that the information is real and valid because someone who didn't read the book said the same thing. That's crazy, right? Woo! It's crazy. JJ said, you must have gone through a lot of self-scrutinization. What? Yes, sir. Hence why you can answer like you do. Absolutely. Absolutely. Mick said, like you tell me, Mark, the data is for informational purposes first and foremost. Stick to the protocol and we will always be grounded. Facts. Facts. Winston said, regarding this reading thing, I know you can read because you read our comments. You have trained yourself to be an understudy wherever you go. Yes. Trend trade, the deeper we go. Yep. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. It really is crazy to me. Like, crazy. Like, I just be bucking out every time I think about it. I'm like, dang, man. It's crazy. I like where you're going with the vibration. Yeah, me too. JJ said, the funny thing is how you remember the raw emotions. Yes, right. Exactly. Exactly. It's like I can tell you specifically, and that's why I'm good too at, like, when I tell a story, I can give you the story and it's like you feel it as if you're there with me at the time. I remember when I was talking about the fondue when I was in Paris. People message me now still talking about that story. And I'm like, wow, that story must have been really, really just interesting and funny because they just resonate with the story. They're like, yeah, man, I finally know what you mean. I smell what fondue tastes like. I mean, I smell what fondue smell like. Whatever. You know, they taste it and they know what I'm talking about now because they got the association from the story that I gave. And then then they'll taste it or they'll smell it and they're like, oh, this is what he was talking about. Yeah. Yep. And it's vivid. Shane said, I believe that life is about the vibration. There is nothing else. That's what it is. There is nothing else. That's why it's so effective when you discover and you become aware of it. Because it's been there the whole time. But it's just like, something that you could have been living next door to somebody that lived next door to you the whole time. And you never knew that they lived next door to you. Until one day you just saw them come out the house. You're like, I didn't know you live here. It's like, yeah, I've been living here for 50 years. Huh? That's what it is. I'm gonna check out this 415 right here. This is gonna give us some information. This should be some good information. This thing dying already? Is it charging? Yeah, it's charging. Good information here. You can see here that the market is not stable yet, but you can see that it's transitioning into becoming stable. And see, like, those are other things too, like the nuances of how the market makes its way to a condition. It's not just about like you snap your finger and then the market just is here now. It gets here by gradually making its way there. So becoming familiar with how the gradual looks, you can recognize when it's in transition and know the difference between it being in transition and being in the actual condition. That's all. Mick said the information age has spawned a mentality of too many alternate facts. There's only one reality. CTDS. Shane said, that's how I found you. I've been studying trading for years. This is the first time I've heard it talked about in this way. The vibration is real. Yes, indeed. JT, I just recorded a video about the macro instability, but how it can be trying to reach stability. Awesome. For the 215. Oh, you recorded a commentary where you were talking through it? I love when you guys do that. I love that. Yeah. And I encourage you to keep doing that. That's good stuff, man. That is good stuff. Just talking through the whole scenario. Yep, that is good stuff. Damn, looking at the 420. It's out of sync. Yeah, it's slightly out of sync. But you can see now that stability is there. You can see. And watch what happens when we get towards the end of this one. Look at the end of this one compared to the end of the last one, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And it's so funny because I could tell already, and we're not even there yet, but I could tell just by looking at the nuances. Now that was interesting. That went from 8.4 to 7.4. That went a full pip. Okay. I stand corrected. That was instability. Crazy. That was unstable as hell. I stand corrected. Yeah, it looked when it positioned itself right under the minute mark. It just for whatever reason gapped. It gapped down, then was just doing funny looking stuff after that. But what you do have in that is solid out of everything right now is the environment. So the environment is there. Stability is not there yet. And it looks like it's still attempting to transition into that. So we just continue to observe. He said, never mind that. Exactly. Yep, never mind that one. Yep, market do what it do no matter what. Yep. JT said position changes happening in the range. Smaller ranges were more worthy. Right. Yep. Otis says, got the taste for cornbread and collard greens. Just a side note. Why did you do that? It's so funny because you see how I'm sitting here? I was just thinking about food. But I went like this just now and looked. I looked over because I'm like, damn, like what's over there now? The snack. I was just doing that. And here go Otis talking about some real food. Cornbread and collard greens. Come on, man. Why would you do that to me? You ain't right. JT talk about he been eating cabbage and cornbread lately. We had cornbread. My Lord, she made cornbread. I think I ate the last piece yesterday. Banging. Banging. And you know you got to eat cornbread with some real butter on it. What I do, I slice the piece of cornbread in the middle, like this way, and I put butter in the middle, and I put butter on the top. And the cornbread got to be hot, where it melts that butter, and the butter starts, it creates that little puddle on the top and then drips on the side. Makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. She made some fish last night too, fried fish. What I think she said it wasn't southern whiting. It was a different type of whiting. And for whatever reason, they didn't lay it at the fish market where she got it from. So it had the big backbone still in it, but there was a lot of meat on them bones. And you really got to be like if you can mess with a porgy, you can mess with any fish because porgy, the bones in that fish. That's why people eat bread with fish. So that when you end up swallowing the bone, the bread will help to push down the bone because the bone will get stuck like in your trachea or something like that. That's why they serve bread with fish. These are facts that only greedy ass people know. Look, Otis said I didn't know that. Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Otis. Talk about some cornbread and collard greens. Oh, man. JP said butter it and then drop it back on the flat top. Crispy butter edges. Yes. Now we talking. Yep. Yeah, because you need every bite of the cornbread to have butter on it. Like every morsel has to have butter involved. Oh, goodness. I like how the market's looking now. We're going to see if this continues. Got like a whole about 2.5 minutes to find out, but I like what it's doing right now. Yep, I like what it's doing right now. Oda said that's fancy. Mick said my great grandma saw 103. She would always tell folks, work hard, sleep, drink water, eat fruit, and stay regular. I agree. I agree with that. I think if you drink coffee, you'll live longer. I'm just saying. That's just my personal opinion. I think if you drink coffee and you gossip, you will live for a very long time. And I say that because I have evidence of that. My grandmother drank coffee her whole life and she gossiped. And she was 96. And yes, right. It keeps you amped and regular. That's for sure. Exactly. Yep. You won't have any difficulty with any type of movement. We'll just say that. All right. This dude straight got a golf cart. Where you get a golf cart from? Oh, let me look at this 430 real quick. Ooh, come on. Keep an eye on this. Ooh, man. That's it right there, man. That's it right there. Bust a move. Bust a move. You see that? There it is. Bust a move. Look at what Mick says. Timing was lovely. Now, you see what I'm talking about as far as how things lead up to stability. That's what I'm talking about. That is a perfect example of what I mean. You know what? I'm gonna count that as MRMA because I'm just gonna count it. If you were looking at that, matter of fact, I recorded it. Let me come back to the recording real quick. Let me see something. And I actually wish I would have recorded more of it. I didn't record as much as I wanted to. Damn. But anyway, when you saw 4, 5, 6, and you saw the pricing, if you looked at the pricing was in the 90s. By the time it hit 6, it was at 90, 92 or 94. And because of the stability, you will often see that the wait, why is it doing this? Why is it just doing that? Hold up. Okay, hold on. Okay, because of the pricing, when the market is stable, you'll often see that, and I don't really want to focus on it by talking about it, but I have to bring it up in instances like this. Because if you're seeing that there is stability, then you can't necessarily discount the pricing mechanism. In other words, just because you're seeing that it's priced out, if it doesn't reflect a full price out, like if you don't see 99, whatever you're pricing, yes, look at what, and see, I don't want to say that, but Mick saw it. He said it flashed it right at 83. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And it flashed, and this took place, and the indicative was still in the same place. The indicative didn't even move at all until it was 20 some seconds left on the clock. So it lets you know, but not only did we see it in that example, we also saw what led up to the market presenting stability. Here, you'll watch this one right here too. This 435. See if it goes underneath this strike. If not, then this is a DQ anyway. All right, that's DQ. All right, but anyway. Oh, also let me post this in the chat because I'm definitely counting that as MRMH. Definitely. For the reasons that I'm giving you. And Mick was able to see it. I'm not sure if anyone else saw it, but it was there. And the reason that you'll see flashes and stuff like that is because the liquidity that is available on the platform at the time, it is more recognizable when there is stability present, because the market being in one position at the time allows you to see orders on the platform, but you don't always see all of the orders. In other words, there is liquidity there, and the liquidity is taking place at a variety of different prices within the mechanism, but you may not see it on the platform reflected in the pricing at the time. Doesn't mean that it ain't there. There's plenty of times where I just wait. Once the parameters are met, I click in and I get filled, and you don't even see the pricing. Now, I'm not saying that that's something that you want to do or are trying to do. What I'm saying is that the basis of the MRMH to begin with is the market and the parameters being met, right? So if you know that you're waiting on the distance and the speed to come, if you're waiting for your 5+1, when you get it, if you clicked in and you got filled and you didn't see the price in there, what does that even mean? You see what I'm saying? So that's why I talk about things that I actually experience, because these are going to become things that you ultimately will experience yourself. But what's more important than that specific example, period, is again, everything that led up to seeing how the market was transitioning into that stability. Like we were looking at it and I was talking through it just now. I'm like, oh, look at this. Ooh, look at that. Wait, let's see what's going to do. And it did it. And it's like, and the pricing, I saw that flash too. That was solid. Yeah, it was solid. That was MRMH right there. That's a permission slip. Just like that. Out of nowhere. But it's not even like it caught you off guard or, you weren't prepared to see it. We were looking at the market the whole time, like since we've been on the live. So we saw what made its way up to presenting that stability at that moment just now. And then the MRMH came. So I'm giving you the specific reasons why I would say that that is MRMH. It's for the reasons that I just mentioned. For the reasons I just mentioned. Yep. Yeah, we're going to dub that one. Yep. Oh, excuse me. That one and this. Okay. This one right here is a DQ. This 440. What DQ'd it just now? What DQ'd that one? Yep. BT. Yes, indeed. Exactly. Exactamundo. Unstable speed leading up to one. Wait, what do you say? Unstable speed leading up to 1 minute equals a red flag. Yep. That is affirmative. See what this 445 does. Right where the market is positioned right now, if it's able to maintain this position, just see it already shifted. It shifted, and if you still look at the distance now, if it can manage to stay within the distance of the positioning, you'll see the price mechanism of the option pricing maintained, because it means that there's still stability in the market itself, but it's trying to find, like whenever it's doing this within a smaller range, it's trying to find its positioning. And during that process, it either does it or it don't. So it's like stability either is going to be present and remain intact, or it's going to move in position and then move and transition into stability. And your job is to navigate the timing of that. So this is why the market is never wrong, because the market is either going to do it or it's not going to do it. And if it doesn't do it, it makes it obvious that it didn't do it. If that makes sense, it makes it very obvious that all right, I'm not doing that right now. And it's like, all right, so nothing to do. You see what I'm saying? But what's not going to happen with us or to us, we never going to get caught up in the shenanigans. Like, we never going to get caught up in the nonsense of seeing the pricing looking funny, the movement of the actual market looking funny, and you trying to make sense out of it or force something to happen when it's becoming obvious what it's doing. You don't have to try to make sense out of something that the market already made sense out of. If the market is already showing you that it ain't stable, it made sense out of itself. It's telling you, nah, I ain't stable right now. So there's nothing to do. And that's when people get into the whole, oh, well, what if, man, I could have took that one early. As soon as you start to talk like that, you know that you're off and that you're wrong. Because you should never have to be put into a position where you have to even do that or say that if you could do it. Man, if I could have took that when it was 3 minutes. No, you shouldn't even have to say that. You should not even have to say that. The market is either going to present it and then follow up with the opportunity, or it's not. And that's what makes it so easy for us to navigate. That's another reason why it's like your patience game has to develop. Because all you got to do is wait. That's all you got to do. Like, look at what it's doing right now. See? Now, if over here on the previous minute, if you was all thirsty and you're like, oh, I could take this early. Yeah, the market looked pretty stable. I could take this one early. Well, then you get caught up in the movement where it moves and shifts into another position on you after the fact. And then where does that leave you? You see what I'm saying? So it ain't even worth it to try to do that. Just let the market give it to you. If the market ain't giving it up, we just keep it moving, and that's it. We just keep it moving, man. It's simple. Yep, it is simple as pie. Excuse me. Holly said the MRMH all right, getting on the charts as I just got home. Yep. I think it was 4:30. Josh said there was setup on training that looked valued under the minute, but unstable speed leading up to the minute gave the clue that parameters wouldn't be respected. Right. Jelani, NADEX about to go eat dinner. Yep. Right. JT said that makes sense. The behavior of the indicative lets us know if it's going to do it or not. Exactly. The range gives us a clue too. Bam. Bam. Okay. So you were saying there was a setup on training that looked valid under the minute. Got you. Mm-hmm. think this phone about to die. Okay. This one's out of position. This one's out of position. But we got environment, we got behavior. And that's probably going to carry over into the next session when NADEX reopens. So that's always a good thing. Yeah, that's that hidden slap for others. Yep. Peleus, I miss TeamAlliance YouTube lives working 50 some hours a week. At City, yeah, it's tough. 50 hours a week, that's kind of a lot, man. You work for the city? Is that what you're saying? I was trying to understand the second part of what you said. All right, so NADEX about to shut down another 10 minutes. Yeah, you hit that on the head. Yep, Holly said, nice to see you out the car for a change. Kids must be gone. Not just kids, women. Yep. It's so funny. You see how nice and peaceful and quiet it is? So guess who's not here? Mom-in-law, and daughter are not here. Listen to the silence. Mind you, my son and my father-in-law is here. They both here. You don't hear peep. Not a peep. Just saying. Paley said provides opportunity to tutor students in the metropolitan area schools. Oh, City Year is who you work for. Got you. City Year is one of the largest programs run by AmeriCorps and involves a 10-month commitment to working in high poverty communities. Got you. Yeah, that sounds like you're doing some awesome work, man. And that is a commitment to commit to 50 hours a week. Schools in Detroit. Okay. So that's in Detroit where you work. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Jelani said nonprofit organization. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. I was talking to someone. I was having a conversation with someone about doing. I would like to do seminars for free. I don't know all the details of it, but I'm just thinking in my head out loud kind of about the stuff that I would like to do. Oh, it's in New York too. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, I appreciate that type of stuff, man. Yeah, that's something that I would give to. Like I would donate to them. I appreciate those type of programs. When they put stuff together that works for communities that just don't have access to resources a lot of times. Jelani said it's in Chicago too. Just networking with someone that works there. They do great things. Yeah. Yeah, that's my speed right there. I like that. Yep, I like that. City, yeah. Right, and I would, yeah, and I would imagine so. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that if they had the resources to pay more, they probably would. And you kind of doing that type of thing not for the pay. You're doing it more so for the benefit that the youth are receiving in return. That's a lot, man. That's a lot. That's why I support organizations that do that type of stuff. Because you know that that's what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? JJ said, wait, let me look at this last one. All right. Yeah, market's still out of position. When you look for stability, are you not concerned with sudden erratic moves if you enter in this time? Although market is open 24 hours, this time is known as closing session where most traders are out. Yeah, I mean, typically we log out by like 4:45 at the latest. But if I know I'm not trading, I'll just look and see what the market is doing. But then, we're not trying to take no trades right now. It kind of I cut it off at 4:45. I don't even consider anything beyond that. JT says sudden erratic moves instability has a name here. Yes, it does. Yep. Yeah, I see it. It's cityyear.org. Mm-hmm. They in Baton Rouge, Boston, Buffalo, Chicago, Cleveland, Columbus, Dallas, Denver, Detroit, Jacksonville, Kansas City, Little Rock, LA, Memphis, Miami, Milwaukee, New Hampshire, New Orleans, New York, Orlando, Philly, They in Providence, Rhode Island, Sacramento, San Antonio, San Jose, Seattle, Tulsa, and DC. That's good stuff right there. I like that. Yeah, I'm gonna get on the donors list. I like that. Yep, like that. Um, Andrew, I know I'm a little late to the chat. Just had to click instantly. I was like, "Hey, yo, Mark is inside the house." I know, right? It's like I'm out my element. Like, yo, he's indoors. Yeah, my wife, my mother-in-law, my daughter, they left. They went out. So they took the truck and I'm in here. My son is actually here, but you don't hear nothing from him. My father-in-law's here. You don't hear nothing from him. It's complete silence. Coincidentally, when there's no women around. Right, Holly? Yeah, so just chilling today. Just chilling. Why do you keep doing that? Yeah, we're gonna see what it do after 6. Yes, indeed. Stacy told me she gonna tell me. I know you were still here, Stacy. I wouldn't have said nothing because I know you're gonna tell. You can tell her. You can tell her. I ain't scared of her. What's that? My Doritos? I don't think so, buddy. Matter of fact, that's the only one over there? Yeah. I'll let you have some. I don't want Lay's. Yeah. Just toss it. Ooh, I caught you saw me catch that? Yeah. With 2 fingers. You know about that. Odds and pricing has been sinkage with stability present, 32 seconds with the price out. For the MRMH, right. Yep. JP said that's why I cut the yard all the time. I know my wife and daughter ain't gonna come outside. Exactly. JT, I noticed invisible liquidity may have a certain time frame for all the liquidity to be dispersed. Then everything else is based on an order being filled. Yes, that's what it is. It's like you know you're gonna pull the trigger off the basis of the validity of the trade at the right time versus not pulling the trigger because you think that it is completely priced out at the time. That may not be the case. So the way to navigate that is when you see instances of what looks like it might be a price out or whatever the scenario might be. Once you have permission to do so, you take the trade or you pull the trigger off of the basis of the validity of the parameters. You do it off the basis of that. And then, whatever happens. You may get filled, you may not get filled. But you're doing it with the intent to be in the trade. You're not doing it with the intent to, oh, let me hurry up and delete this order. You're placing the order off the basis of attempting to get into the trade, which means that it needs to be something that you're completely confident in doing. So that should be helpful to give more insight on why you see me do it. I'm doing it for that reason. If that's what I'm doing, like if let's say that I'm waiting for 5+1, I'm gonna wait for 5+1. Once I get 5+1, bang, I'm clicking in, assuming everything else is in place. The timing, environment, behavior, etc. Observation, I've been doing that. I know what I'm doing at the time. Bang, I'm clicking in. May get filled, may not get filled. You don't get filled, you don't get filled. You do get filled, you're going to be in a solid trade at the right time. That's a win. That's chicken dinner. But Monty, what's happening? Paley said nearly a third of students in Detroit's public schools drop out. The consequences are real. Students who drop out are 8 times more likely to become incarcerated. Exactly. 3 times more likely to be you. That's crazy. Yep, and that's, all because of the lack of resources. One of the resources being what that organization is filling the gap for. When I read up on what they are doing, they're doing things to enhance the process of what the educational system is lacking. Giving these kids more time to be able to get, whether it's more tutoring or more attention or whatever it is that they need specifically to be able to focus more so that they can do better within school. If they're spending their time doing that, they're going to be spending less time doing other shit. So that makes sense. Got you. More likely to be unemployed. When a student drops out of school, it has a lasting effect on our communities. Yes, it does. Of course it does. Right, and Holly said it needs to start at a young age. Got to catch them early in so many instances. There's a lot of kids now that are starting out real early and they mad young with gangs and just negativity in the street. And they're getting younger and younger at it now. Younger and younger. It's crazy. But yeah, that's definitely an organization I'm going to be supporting. JJ, in traditional Forex, we tend to look to jump into Momo trades because we're looking for big moves. How did you transition from that mentality to just ensuring that Momo is not good, is not a good thing in NADEX? Because I studied the NADEX platform. And NADEX utilizes a different instrument than the Forex market. Forex lots are different than NADEX contracts for binaries. Once I understood the difference, then I elevated my understanding of binaries, and specifically the ones that NADEX has put together. So being that NADEX is an exchange, there's a difference between the way that your approach would be. You're not approaching the trading from the perspective of trying to beat the market. You're approaching it from the perspective of trying to understand the market. That already is the edge that you have, because you know that. Whereas everybody else that gets on NADEX attempts to trade NADEX the way that they trade Forex. But that's not what NADEX is about when it comes to the binaries. When it comes to those binaries, it's simply about being on the correct side of where the market ends up at relative to your strike price. And you're not in competition with the market, you're in competition with the person on the other side of the trade, because NADEX is an exchange. So you're just simply trading against somebody else that has the opposite thinking of what you are thinking. So if your thought process is, you know, I'm anticipating that the market is going to remain on this side of the strike price. They're like, well, I want a good risk reward trade. I'm gonna risk 20 to make 80. Their order gets matched up with yours. They're gonna risk 20 to make 80. You are gonna risk 80 to make 20, but you're gonna make 20 because you understand the market better than them. You see what I'm saying? Oh, excuse me. Scratching my throat. My throat is itching a little bit. Jelani said, or also homeless. I deal with a lot of youth that are homeless due to whatever reason. That is true. It's sad when you hear the stories, but to be able to give them options and turn their lives around is rewarding. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, that's very true. End up just straight living on the street, man. Mick said, I used to teach financial education to Job Corps students. My pop retired from there after 35 years. Job Corps will be back and is awesome. Definitely. Yeah, Don, Skid Row in LA is crazy. It is. And I'm always gonna just be for, I'm gonna always, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm always gonna be like an ambassador or a supporter of organizations that actually do stuff like at the ground level, where you see them do it. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate when organizations do that. And that makes me want to support them because you know that it's actually being done and it's making an impact. Yep, it's crazy, man. Teaching and being ratchetdemic. Christopher Admin, you should check it out. Team Alliance, great speech. It's only 14 minutes long. Christopher Admin, that's the name? Yeah, homeless kids on Skid Row. Makes it homeless vets is our current mission. Oh, for Job Corps, you mean? JJ, well, NADEX moves according to the Forex market, so the same applies. NADEX, the markets that we trade on NADEX do move according to the Forex market because they are the Forex market, yes. But a binary is not the same as a Forex contract, if that makes sense. When you trade a binary, you're not trading off the basis of the market. You're trading off the basis of the movement of the market. That may not make that much sense from how I said that, but the binary is simpler than trying to be correct about the market reaching a certain point. For example, like when you trade Forex, you're trading, for example, off the basis of, let me make sure this thing ain't gonna die. Oh, this thing got 2%. This phone might, if this dies, just die. If he dies, he dies. But let me try to get this point in real quick. Forex, you're trading with anticipation of the market reaching a certain point and you collecting a certain amount of pips or profit on the trade. It does whatever it's going to do on the way there or not on the way there. It might go in the other direction. And if you have a stop loss, you're using the stop loss to protect the trade or to protect yourself from losing more than a certain amount of money. If you reach your profit target, then you reach your profit target and you collect your profit on the trade. And of course, you can exit anytime in between that. Binaries are not like that. Binaries are much simpler. 5-minute binaries are way more simpler. All you got to be right about is where the market's going to end up at relative to your strike price, period. It has nothing to do with the trend direction, has nothing to do with whether it hits your price level or your profit target. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have anything to do with that when you trade the binary. It's different. It's utilizing the Forex information as far as the markets go, yes, but it is not the same as Forex at all. Right. JT